I'd like to remind everybody that certain topics of discussion may not be comfortable for all listeners. Certain viewpoints may not reflect those of our partners, sponsors, affiliates, our hosts, or that of our guests. We would like to encourage everybody to keep a respectful and open climate of discussion for all topics, no matter how disturbing they may be. So viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new year and the world is getting crazier than ever before. And there's only two idiots who know best to bring it to you. Join Christopher Mole and Dakota Francis every week on the Bald and Bonkers show. You never know what's going to happen. Hello.
What the heck?
I don't know.
It's Geordie for Star Trek.
Oh, I didn't know we were having drinks.
No, I can't drink. I swear. I'm worried about
What?
him, though.
What do you mean? What, because I've had one Bailey's Irish cream, you think I'm away with the fairies?
Well, you're.
Oh, I'm about to make a Bloody Mary. It's going to be pretty sweet.
That's weird that I seen a video the night about Bloody Mary. It's the challenge. Has anybody's ever done that? The challenge to Bloody Mary?
Oh, is that coming back? My God.
Oh, yeah. It's making its rounds.
What's the challenge?
I don't know. I think you sit in the room at 3 AM or something. And like count to 12 or something. I don't know. And the spirit of Bloody Mary's comes and gets you.
Oh, you do that in the mirror. You're supposed to wear a necklace and you stand in the mirror and you spin in a circle and you say, Bloody Mary, I've got your baby. I've got your baby. You spin around 3 times and then you're supposed to cut the lights off and leave the bathroom.
Cool. Has anybody's ever tried that?
I'm not doing it.
I think you should try that for
We'll murder
scientific
you.
experience. I think you should try that for scientific
Why
experience.
am I always the one that has to do the dirty work?
Because
And you
you're
just
the
sit on your ass.
CEO. You're the CEO of Bald and Bonkers. You are our boss, and you would want to try that first for the goodness out of us. See?
I'm
It's
not
like-
trying to ever. If he
it's
tries
like-
it first, he's gonna die, and then it's over.
Right,
With.
it's like there's an airplane, it's going to crash. We don't know if the parachutes work. He goes first. That kind of thing.
First
you
off,
know?
I'm too big for a parachute. Trust me.
We'll
I've
put
looked
2 on
into
you.
it.
We'll put one on your chest. And we'll put one on your back. It'll be like you'll be like one of the Abrams tanks coming out the back of like a transporter.
Wouldn't it be better just to strap it around
parachute
my
on the
legs and one around my head so it doesn't, tie myself up?
What do you mean, like the Apollo rocket coming back to the moon?
I
Or
don't
the
know.
parachutes on it floating back to Earth and stuff like
So
that,
people
you
are probably wondering what the hell is actually going on with this show right
know? I
now.
know. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined tonight by Princess Tiger Lily. See, I said that right there. You know?
Yeah, I'm quite impressed with you. You never get anything right.
I know. It must be what I'm drinking. You know. So how are you
Drinking?
tonight? How are you tonight, Princess Tiger Lily?
Well, I'm doing okay. I'm just a bit banged up at the moment.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, we were a little worried about you coming on tonight and us having to BS as usual after hearing about your accident. But
Yeah.
thankfully, you are okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
guess my partner just got tired of riding with me. He's trying to get rid of me.
Imagine.
Well, I
that.
can't imagine how that could be possible.
Why don't you have a shot at driving the next time, Jana?
I don't know. I
And
just
tell
don't
him to
care
sit in
about
the back and
driving.
just get in.
The patients like me better. I sit back there and talk to them.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have been wanting to get you on for a while to get you properly introduced. People seem to love you. I can't figure out how.
Oh, that's really nice. I'm so glad to hear everyone loves me. Thanks.
See, and coming soon to Bald and Bonkers, you'll have your own show. What, I don't know, but you're going to be doing strange things.
It
on that
doesn't
show.
exactly sound like she don't know quite yet, so we don't have to
That
rush
sounds
it.
pretty cool. We could just call the show Strange Things.
There you go. Strange things.
That is not the
There you go.
phone call I need from Netflix.
I didn't say Stranger Things. I said strange and unusual things.
Strange and unusual
including the
things.
paranormal.
Including? What else are you thinking? Wait,
Yes. Tonight, live from the control room, we talk to Jana about strange, unusual, and paranormal.
I made a TikTok video last night. They're doing this one where they go, "Who are you?" And they say, "An angel," right? And they're all doing their hands like that and then moving their eyes and stuff. I just rolled my eyes in the back of my head, and I think it's like freaking people out, and they think it's a filter. So you just
Jana gets possessed live on air. Oh my God.
It's a good thing we have this viewer discretion warning.
That's what I love about the Sunday shows. We never know who we're going to interview next, you know? And, you know? So, Jana,
where's my crucifix?
How did you get into the paranormal side of things, Jana?
Well, I was raised in we will not say typical. It was a Southern Baptist church, basically a cult. Can you get him off the fireplace, please? And
cult and fireplaces are not going to sentence together.
Well, you know, the baby was climbing the fireplace. I couldn't ignore it.
Alive.
So my grandfather was a pastor and in a church, and he had this like giant, like Bigfoot footprint. It was all really strange, and it was sort of cultish because if you didn't believe what he said, you got disowned. It was terrible. But when I was in church one Sunday in the basement where we had church at, I noticed that I was seeing these other people like walking around in the church, and I was like, but they weren't there. It was like kind of what you would imagine like a ghost, but I was like 4 years old. I had no idea like about ghosts or anything. I was homeschooled and all that. And then I don't know. I realized that I could see another like realm or something. I didn't have the words for it then when I was, a child, but I kind of felt like I could see into something else and that other people could not see it. It looked like we were in a shopping mall and all these people were just walking around. Everybody's sitting in church. And then I would have dreams, and I would just remember they were so vivid. I remember some of them to this day, but a lot of my dreams, like I could just fly. And I just thought I would come back here and I would feel so sad when I wake up, like this isn't where I belong kind of feeling. And I guess it just kind of prompted me to feel like there was something else other than what everyone was telling me about, or, what we talked about in church and stuff. And, I was always really outspoken as a kid. My cousin told me one time, like I told you, this is a church, but it was like all family and we had it like at the house. Yeah. It was kind of strange. And I remember raising my hand doing, "Hey, Meemaw Maxine. And she would be like, "Jana, hush, dear Lord." She'd start praying and I'd keep interrupting her. "I just had a vision of the Wizard of Oz." And so I just always been that way. And it just kind of put me out, seeing things. And I would say my very first like major paranormal experience would probably be when I was about 8 years old. And we had moved into this house, which was rumored to be built on an Indian burial ground, according to my dad. Yeah, my dad always says that Red Eye is going to come get us. He's the Indian with one eye. Anyways, and we were coming into the garage and there was this black figure inside of the garage door. Like it was a black shadow and it had these big red eyes, and I seen it in the window and I was freaking out, and my mom's like, "Oh, stop screaming, we need to go inside the house." And I was like, "No, there's something in the window." And then I don't know, it just progressed from there, really. And I have uncountable amounts of paranormal experiences or anything, paranormal, supernatural. And I just have this inherent knowledge of like knowing what's going on or being able to see things or understand things that maybe somebody else isn't understanding in the same manner.
Is it true that you're related to Dakota?
I mean, as far as a DNA test goes or anything, I've never had one of those, but
yeah, that's definitely something I got to look into myself. But yeah, apparently I'm related to Mary Stuart. She mentioned she's related to Queen Elizabeth I. Those two are cousins, so technically, yes. By that logic, we are.
See, that's what it's all coming from.
Well, we have a similar look to our facial structure, it looks like.
Well, that was the weird thing. I went to Edinburgh Castle, and I swear I kept seeing this woman dressed like Mary Stuart, and it was just like, what the hell? I got concerned because she looked a lot like my mother, and I'm just like, Mom, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, right. Well, I say everyone has doppelgangers, but I mean, how much DNA variants are there really? Especially when you look like your ancestors. I mean, your DNA couldn't really vary that greatly from someone who looks just like you, right? Because you probably got the same genetic markers on your DNA strands.
I was like, you were saying that a few shows back that you were kind of shocked at how much I look like your brother, apparently. And then you sent me a photo. I was like, yep.
Yeah, you look a lot like my brother.
See, there might be something there, Kim. I mean, there might be something there, Kim. I mean, but see, when you say Edinburgh Castle, you say Edinburgh Castle, no Edinburgh.
I don't even know where that is. Is that in Scotland?
He came here as Holland.
That's how the tour guide said it.
As I was an English person, though.
He was like, Edinburgh, we're Edinburgh Castle.
Hey, I'll tell you that.
His name was George, and he actually looked a lot like your brother, Chris.
Oh, my God. Oh, my. What one?
Drew.
Ooh.
I haven't met your other brher.
Hold on.
I have 2 brothers.
Is that who just sent me a friend's request? Somebody sent me a friend's request, paranormal. Somebody named Drew. It's a guy. I haven't really looked at their profile real hard.
I was about to say, is it an Eastern Island head?
I literally didn't pay that much attention. I just know that it's a guy named Drew, and it said one of the paranormal groups. I don't know if they're in here or not, but yeah, they sent me it. That might be what the name was. That could possibly.
Or is it Indrina?
No, it was a guy, because I thought it was a lady.
4 different Drews running around him.
I know. Came with Taz, Jana. What is it with the woods behind your house? There's something about them. I don't know what Taz.
I thought I saw something moving through him, actually. Like it was trying to peek over her shoulder, like, what you doing?
I don't know what it is, by the way, but there's just something really weird about the with the sunset, and there's like something, I don't know, there.
Like, well, if you were that house right there, there's a cul-de-sac in front of it. You see that house?
Yeah.
And so that's where there were 2 dead bodies found.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's right.
What happened to them? Wait, curiosity.
In 1974, there was a woman. Her name was, I think her first name was Barbara. Anyways, Machete. And she was obsessed with the mafia. Her original name was Adkins, like her ex-husband, who was still living here. She had moved to Florida, and she was so obsessed with the mafia that she changed her last name to Machete. And her husband, she was married to this guy. She got him to change his name to Machete. Okay. And they were going to be in the mob. And so they were in Florida, and she took out a hit, as they want to say, on her ex-husband who had just gotten remarried. And I guess he laid cable lines or something for like internet, whatever, phone service and stuff. And this wasn't nothing out here. It was just like a development, like a housing development. And there was like, there might've been like 2 houses out here, and it was a dirt road. And this is, I mean, my house is still kind of far out because I'm almost like the last neighborhood before you get into the countryside area. And anyways, it was actually her husband. She had him come here with a friend of his to murder her ex-husband and his new wife. And the sheriff described it as that they were viciously shotgunned to death. They basically shotgunned them into pieces. Like they lured them out here and had them meet them up out here at the power poles out here. And then I guess when they got out of the car, they just shotgunned them until they were just a big bloody pile of stuff on the ground. And they left them out here with their car and stuff. And then there's some kind of helicopter service or something. And they were doing like little private helicopter tours or something. Or I don't know I don't know why the hell you would want to tour around here. Anyways. And they saw the blood from like up in the air. And they came out here and found the bodies. and they eventually found her. There's been like several books written about it, and she died in 2020 in a nursing home in Atlanta, Georgia. She was in I think it was like a prisoner style nursing home. Like they have one in, is it Hawkinsville or I can't freaking remember, Milledgeville. They have like this, it's like a nursing home where like geriatric pedophiles go. It's disgusting. Anyways, that's what she died. I think they said she died of COVID.
Yeah.
But, I don't know what really happened to her, but she died. And then they came out with the episode of Snapped last fall, I think it was, about a year ago. And so, anyways, yeah, my neighborhood's really haunted. And she was just trying to get $25,000. $25,000
maybe
is anything.
Maybe it's got something to do with the Indian burial ground. Because I've heard about this, like people that stay in Indian burial grounds just going mad, doing terrible
where I
things.
used to live was an Indian burial ground, where the house where I grew up in as a child. And then the other house where I was originally born at before we moved there, there's a bunch of ponds around it. It's a place called Pike Pond, and there's a legend of what they call the legend of Green Eyes, and it's like some monster that lives in the woods, and that place is really weird. Really weird. I had some weird dreams there. It was very strange.
Is it just me, Dakota, or can you see it to the face and the bushes behind Jana?
Right here, I see two eyes, and a mouth right there.
Yeah.
Like the angry monkey face.
It looks like Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, he must have fell out his sleigh on his way home and he's stuck in your bushes.
Maybe it's Krampus.
I wouldn't. It's the
2020s.
I wouldn't doubt it anymore.
Aye, but that just looks weird. That I mean, I don't know. It's creeping.
Let me see. What bush is that? Ouch. We had to put the cars in the backyard because the neighbors tried to get us in trouble. That's why there's two cars behind the window.
All covered up in that. Doesn't look suspicious at all.
Yeah, it's not suspicious or anything. I'm trying to see which bush that is. I can't see a bush that looks that way when I turn around.
It's just a low one. It's a wee. Well, it's hard for me to explain because they can't really point at that, can't they? But the viewers watching this next week will see it. So tell me, Jana, do you believe in the aliens? Do you believe in UFOs? Strange things.
I do believe in the extra dimensional beings.
Oh yeah. Can you tell us anything about them?
I don't feel like, I mean, you say the word alien, but that really just brings up a lot of like sci-fi, kind of stuff to some people. But I think that they are, like they talk about the ancient astronaut theorists or whatever. All this stuff just sort of like coincides with all the different theories of, like the Egyptian hieroglyphics of the spaceships, or, like they even had like the Babylon batteries. Like, how in the heck did they know that was going to produce electricity with like different, alloy metals and stuff? The whole thing is just like the Industrial Revolution. Like, listen, people were not like cavemen and then they all of a sudden just got really smart out of nowhere. It makes no sense whatsoever. What I believe is that like the fallen angels came, which would be considered like the aliens or the extra dimensional beings, and they came down and then they taught us what is known as esoteric knowledge, such as astrology, the beautification of the eyelids. They taught us about weapons, and they just taught us all this stuff, and it's just continued and continued, all the way up till you get to like Area 51, where they did these rituals over Area 51, which opened up the space-time continuum, basically. And then, those beings were able to enter back and forth through this portal that they opened. And that's where they say they have these gray aliens that are there, which, I don't think those are the good ones that they have there. They're probably like more the worse ones or whatever. But they're basically holding them captive, and then they try to reverse engineer the ships, and then they give us more esoteric knowledge. We're like, where do you think we get these laptops and tablets and all this stuff? It's like Tesla, helps.
I don't smoke enough for that shit. I'm just kidding.
I find this very interesting, actually. I do believe what Jan is saying, by the way, but here's an idea, right? You see how you get the ancient astronaut theory, how there's maybe like the pyramids in the Amazon jungle with like maybe pictures of like what looks like astronauts. right? Or there's pictures of like helicopters in the pyramids. You know what I'm talking about? What happens if that's us that's went back in time to that period? They've seen that, they've drew it, and then when we come back to this realm, it's part of history, and we just find out about it.
I do feel sort of like the timelines and the things and the different dimensions and everything are able to like overlap on each other, and that we could like revisit back. You know, you think of it, was it Jeremy Bearimy they talk about on The Good Place, where everything's this big loop and you don't really know which way you're in, and you can kind of end up over on this other side and everything. Yeah. It's just, time isn't real. Everything that we do is like basically sort of the same. Like every day you seem like it's the same day because your thoughts are almost basically the same as the day before that. So as soon as your thoughts and ideas kind of start to correlate and they change, and you sort of start to get a different thought that you had, once you get so many of those thoughts, you go into the next dimension from where you are. It's called quantum jumping.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Is that no what they did in, what's the film? What's that film? The guy with the glove. Oh, I'm terrible with Marvel movies because I don't really watch them. Thanos, what was its name? You know, they tried to go back.
I didn't watch any of that.
They tried to go back, but they couldn't go back to their own time because they had to, because it was different things. Dakota.
I literally haven't watched any of those movies.
See?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you're talking about Avengers Endgame, and that's actually one of the closest scientifically plausible explanations to time travel. Basically, Back to the Future is bullshit. Sorry!
You can't go back in time, but you can go back in time. But if you go, right, like say for instance, I had a machine that this chair took me back to say any date that I wanted, right? So in theory, I could go back to 1950, right, in this chair, right? But see, when I went to come home, I wouldn't be able to return home. Am I right, Dakota? I would be able to come home, but it wouldn't be the home that I left.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I created a new one. There you go.
I mean, there's been several instances of people saying that they've left. There's like some guy, I can't remember his name. And they talk about it on Strange But True all the time. And they're saying that this guy came here and he said he had a whole different family, a whole different reality. They said he went to the hospital and like he had an ID and a passport that was all these different countries that don't even exist here at all. And the passport had been stamped like several times. And there's all these witnesses and stuff. And they say when they went back into the rooms, they were questioning him because he got held over at an airport because they were like,
Turog.
Yeah, that guy.
What was that, Dakota? What was his name?
Don't believe I'm pronouncing the country right, but essentially, the story goes, man shows up at the airport. He has his passport. You know, he goes through customs. Basically, his passport is from a country that does not exist.
You know where my blue square glasses are?
See, I find that very interesting.
In my black bag.
Obviously, there's the Mandela effect that I'm going to bring in. The Mandela. Everybody knows what the Mandela effect is. They say that CERN made us jump into a new universe, a different universe, right? But what happens, right? What happens if the universe that we were in didn't have any extraterrestrial life in it? But when we jumped into this universe that did have it, that's why we're seeing all these UFOs, mere UFOs turning up.
I think that all the universes have it because the extraterrestrials can literally, they're extra dimensional. I mean, that they can travel through the dimensions and through the times, and that so everywhere, anywhere you go, if you're quantum jumping, is like they're still going to exist, but there's just different situations that are going to occur. And you know, this really brings everything into like manifesting and how like, if you really think about like if every single person is manifesting or is able to manifest what they think, then some realities would collide with what they're doing. So each reality in essence would kind of have to be a different one. And I've even heard somebody say that people's like that we're all part of the same thing and that we're all the same consciousness living different lives in different bodies and that we don't really like know.
So somewhere out there's a version of Dakota where he's only 3 foot tall and he has hair.
He's the same weight.
Hi.
And vice versa.
He's about that height. You know, hello. You look down them, you know. No, honestly, I do think the Mandela effect. I do believe in that because there was the Ford badge. The Ford badge. You know what I'm talking about, didn't you?
The food badge. I know I'm talking about the Berenstain Bears, and somebody has 2 copies of the tape. I saw them.
No, Ford is the F-150 pickup truck. Ford.
Oh, Ford.
Yeah.
It had to be pigtail on the F.
The Ford
It doesn't have it now. It doesn't have it now. The Ford badge, it starts with an F, doesn't it? Well,
yes,
it used
F-150.
and it used to go, and on the F, it used to have like a wee pig's tail. It used to have a wee pigtail, right? You get me? But there's people that
like
can't remember it.
Yeah, it was like a cursive F.
Mm-hmm.
But people can't remember it with that. But I can. And it's the same as the Volvo badge. That's changed. And the Volkswagen badge, the V, right? And then W, right? We're all one. But now it's got a line through it and they've never changed it. Or the Nazi swastika.
VW in the house, yeah.
Yeah. And the Nazi swastika. Now here's an easy one. The Nazi swastika, right? What way did it sit? Was it straight up or was it to the side?
Well, there's 2 different versions of that anyways, because the swastika comes from like over in India. The swastika is facing the opposite way, and it means like it's like a peace symbol.
Yes.
It's like the opposite of them.
But I've met people that are convinced that the Nazi flags, it was like obviously it was perfect, it was straight. But now the Nazi are like, at one angle.
Yeah, that was Wolfenstein that did that.
No, it wasn't Wolfenstein that did that. It's using your computer games. But I definitely think there's something happened because there's things that I can remember. I remember Nelson Mandela dying.
It's in the back of the car.
So that's why Or what about? Here's the easiest one. What about Monopoly? He had a monocle. Come on. I was born in 1981. I played Monopoly. Yes, Dakota, you're a baby here.
Really now?
I played that Monopoly in the early 90s. I wished I'd kept the box. The Monopoly man had a monocle. He definitely had a monocle.
Doesn't
Jana?
he have a monocle now?
No, he never has had a monocle.
But you just said that you saw it with a monocle.
Yes. But
so,
Dakota,
I saw it with a monocle too.
I remember seeing something with him having a monocle.
But he never has had a monocle. That's what I'm trying to say. Look it up. If you've got a phone in front of you now, look it up. And it says that the Monopoly man never had a monocle.
I don't know where it is.
And to me, he had a monocle. It's... What the hell's that, Jana?
That sounded like a taser.
Is that what was that you had there? Oh my god!
Oh dear Lord!
What do you have that for?
Speaking of which, I need to
There's a lot
find
of
the
evil out
charging
there.
cable
You
for
gotta
mine.
protect yourself.
What do you mean? Were you expecting Bigfoot to come up and open the window and snatch you or
I don't know if it would
something?
do much to a Bigfoot.
Might piss it off, but
This
that's
is
about
one of
it.
the
Coming to a
animals
show
that we
review
don't
soon,
eat.
how to look after your
He can't
taser.
be in here. Get him out of here.
What did you think it was, Chris?
I actually thought it was something else there.
Chris!
What do you mean you thought it was something else?
I don't know, right? Honestly,
A toothbrush.
it was a toothbrush. I thought it was a toothbrush.
It was my toothbrush. It gives me great whitening powers, darling.
I wouldn't like to use it in your teeth. I wonder how painful that would be.
I wouldn't want to. Oh, you want to?
Anybody
Okay,
watching
we're doing a
this, do
challenge
not try
now.
that.
We'll stick a taser in your mouth and shock your tongue with it. That's the new danger challenge, right?
No, let's not give any of these TikTok
Oh,
kids
please.
any ideas.
Oh God, don't.
We cannot be
please.
held legally
Disclaimer: do not
responsible.
put a taser in your mouth. Do not. You will die. Okay. All right.
Viewer discretion
You
advised.
TikTok
Legal
bag.
disclaimer.
Zap.
Oh God, you guys are gonna have to make me hire a legal team again.
I can see it in the TikTok live. The guy will blow up with froth coming out. Oh, come on. You know, honestly, do not try anything like that at home. Little girls and little boys. It's a very, very, very dangerous thing. Do you know they're illegal in the UK? You can't own tasers.
You can't have
You
like
get
a
jail
stun
for
gun.
having
Like
these things.
you can't have a police issue.
You can't even
like,
have a pen
stun
knife over
gun.
here. Never mind a stun gun.
I was
Well, I
going
know
to show
how
you
to
a
get
picture of the
one.
Mandela effect that I had found, but I don't think I can find it.
Look up the Monopoly Man, Dakota.
Right.
Nah, I know which one you're talking about, and I remember like an off-brand cartoon of it having a monocle.
Yeah. It had a
Off-brand
monocle.
meaning not officially
No,
Monopoly.
it had a monocle. I can remember
So
it
look.
wasn't a monocle.
Here's a Mandela effect. People talk about the Berenstain Bears versus the Berenstain Bears. Okay, so somebody has two VHSs, and you can clearly see this one says the Berenstain Bears, and this one is the Berenstain Bears, and they have both tapes at the same time in their hand.
Ooh.
So that right there, that's complete proof that it's real.
Or someone messed up reading the font.
Yeah. Someday working at the factory that day was dyslexic.
They say that they never said. They said that they never seen. Hold on. Sorry, one of the
honestly,
fell.
But honestly, Jana, why do you keep a taser?
My mom got it for me for Christmas. So I can get fired from work for having it. Duh.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Honestly.
I was looking for something else in my bag, and that's just what came out. So, you know, I can't. I thought that something I needed was in here, but it's not in here.
What, Dakota? What is it, Dakota?
No, I'm just thinking like an accidental discharge. That's all. Yeah.
What?
Discharge? You can't say that on a live feed.
Oh God.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the late hour. This is a rated 21 show, so remember, if there's any kiddies in the room, send them to their beds.
Well, Jana's trying, but
you know, see when Jana decides to come and we should give her our own show, we should start a trailer off with like warning signs at a nuclear power station, and then the doors will open.
Unfiltered moonshine.
Yes. Late night live.
Plenty of sparkles.
The late night sparkle hour, where we talk about strange things and the paranormal.
Sparkle like a stripper. What?
Oh, God.
You must have got the stripper with the glitter again. Go to take a shower. Got the herpes and craft supplies all over you. Here comes the sun.
Jesus.
You know, we should have invited Drellingsworth to come on the show with us tonight. I think that would have been epic.
Oh, I don't think his wife would have liked that. Strange people outside her window.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's pretty strange.
Yeah, you're talking about him being strange, and Chris was talking about your bush earlier in the show.
What?
Seen my bush?
I can see it. The bush has got a face. I'm telling you.
Well,
it's maybe George Bush.
My Bush's face is blank.
Oh my God. That's must be one of the funniest shows I think we've ever done. One of the Sunday episodes when folk have come in, when people
Sorry, guys.
after coming out of church.
Listen, if they just left church and they're in here, they're probably in the wrong room.
I know. Praise the Lord and hallelujah.
I can only imagine.
Oh no!
I can only imagine what my neighbors think when we moved.
That's sacrilegious now. You better stop. We're gonna spank you.
We moved next to a Catholic church, so I'm just like.
Dakota walks past and smoke starts coming off him.
It was cold.
Handy
I
place
was
for
hot.
holy water. Handy place to go and get some holy water, isn't it? You can just
I
pop
still
in,
got a
fill up your
stash.
reflask.
Might be one in a diaper bag.
You just sprinkle it with everything, you know.
No, I got my stash that I got from the Pope.
So, have you guys heard from the aliens lately?
Almost every night. What are you talking about?
Every night. Every night they come, you know.
I've been having some really vivid dreams, but they're too vivid to convey here.
Well, yeah, you could just block out something and tell us.
I don't know. I've just been having like some really, it wasn't even like it was about aliens. It was just like super vivid. Like it was like I was really like the other night I had a dream I was at work and my boss was like, hey, I need you to go pick up a truck. And I was like, I thought we were getting off work and we go out to some alleyway and the truck was there and it was covered in vines. And then like the zombies were coming to get us and we were trying to fix this truck to go up. And it was just really weird, strange. It's almost like a real life thing. Like I'm somewhere else living. It's just too vivid. It like when I woke up, I was like, oh my God, that was a dream. I thought I was at work for real, like for real. So, but I haven't seen any aliens, but I've also been like really busy. So they're probably like, just don't bother her right now.
Zombies. And you keep bugging me.
I know. Why do you keep coming to me when you could go and visit Jana? Honestly. Why can you just go and visit?
Well, wait. I was like, well, I got baby number 3. I have to go visit.
Well, you know.
I just think you're that child kid you would to pay.
Money's not an issue up there, you know.
No. You're
like Star Trek,
and you have to give them. You have to give them something. I think that's terrible.
What are you going to give
them?
Pay
your way. Pay your way.
Who are you giving something to?
I don't want to know out of him.
What? You know, honestly, why can you not come to Jana? Why can you not just come and take Jana away at night? You know, and give me a holiday.
They said I talk too much.
Yeah, why do you think they didn't want to take you back up?
I think you would love it up there, Jana. You could float about. You could float about in the kind of spaceship.
Yeah, but
this is all the interesting people you get to meet and try new things.
I mean, I've tried a lot of things.
Oh, Dakota's into that too. He's tried a lot of things too. Remember that night your EMF was going off?
Yeah, and you were talking about changing whips.
I know. All night his EMF never went off. Not once. And I mentioned the Galactic Federation's the guy that's in charge of it. With him with chains and whips, and it wouldn't stop going off. That tells you something.
Those assholes have 1 sick sense of humor.
Yeah, you know.
I love how she's just getting all quiet, like
I know. She's like a pouncing tiger. She's getting. I'm actually sitting back here. And I'm getting further away. You know, the Jedi mind meld. You know, she just froze.
No, she's just sitting there fucking with us.
I know. So Jana, what's your thoughts, Jana? Thoughts. There you go. There's a Scottish word. Thoughts, Jana, on the Galactic Federation. When do you think the disclosure will happen on this?
I don't think disclosure is ever going to happen. I think they're going to always try to hide it because they want to control everything that we're doing.
First of all,
I think they're going to keep it to themselves, and the only disclosure that's going to happen is us amongst each other and who we're telling behind the scenes until they really find out, and then they're going to be like really fucking mad, most likely.
Yeah, that is kind of the fight right now.
Well, they're never going to really fully disclose it. I mean, because they don't want it to be disclosed, and the people, the 1%, they don't want anybody to know about it. It's like esoteric knowledge, like I was talking about earlier. All that stuff's like highly secret. Most people are not going to ever try to go against what they were taught when they were born. They're only going to ever they're going to be like, oh, I was taught this. You didn't choose anything you were taught. Like when you were born and you're a baby, you don't choose anything. Your name isn't even who you are. It's just what you identify as because your parents called you that. And then you agreed that they call you that. And so when you both came into an agreement of that being your name, that's how you identify in your physical body, because our physical bodies are part of the earth and the inside of our bodies are eternal. whichever way you want to
Yes.
look at it or whatever, whether you
I
believe
wonder,
the Bible or the Quran or whatever.
that's a good point. So when you die, I wonder what your name is, what your real name is.
I mean, you probably really essentially don't have a name, and especially if we're all part of the same consciousness, we're all like, we just kind of inherently
Number.
know the spirit of the other person when you see them or go around them. And the whole theory is that when you do pass on to the next life, you will have, it's sort of like a dream. So like right now, your mind is physical because it's part of your earthly body, right? So you're earthly. All this is stardust and dirt and trees and stuff. And when it dies, it goes away because it belongs to the planet, the Terra planet that we're on. But your inside of you is like a dream state. Think when you go to sleep and everything's, it's not linear. When you wake up, everything's linear because your brain has a physical place to put a frame around what your dream is. And so essentially what one of the theories is on what will happen when you die is that you basically go into a dream. You basically go into a dream, and it's back to like, that's where we came from to begin with, is like this dream area or whatever, where we're just basically stardust and our spirit.
That's very interesting, that. So that's your beliefs then. When you die, that's what you think.
I mean, to be quite honest, I don't really know if that is what I believe. Like I said, it is a theory. I was raised, like I was saying, everyone has a really hard time just to go against whatever you were taught as a child, whether you were taught, Christianity, or whether you were taught atheism, or whatever you were taught by your parents, that they were taught by their parents, is all a belief that they held, that they put into you. And in order to break those beliefs is like super hard. I mean, you have to really do a lot of like inner work and inner like shadow work and stuff, looking at your inner self to really even try to break that bond. And then you're still like, I don't know. And like, do I believe in that? Or is there a God? Or is God all in us? Which in Christianity, they teach you that's pantheism, which would be, not good. So what I see it as is like, I think that there's these beings out there, these extra dimensional beings. I think that there are negative energies and there are positive energies. What they are, I don't really know. I don't know if I have a name to give to them. I mean, I'm only 36 years old. And so as a person in the world, like I'm really young. You don't really hit your prime until you're like in your 60s. That's when you really hit your prime and it's really going on. And if you really took care of your body up to that point, you should be fine. Like I said, I'm 36. I'm not saying anyone believes it when they look at me, but it just is, and I'm just.
I thought you were younger, but there you go.
See, and I was born in 86. And
no, I'm offended. You thought I was older than you, Chris, when we met.
But I honestly, I thought Jana was younger than that.
People that know the information, like you can go listen to like a really good guy to listen to is like Alan Watts or Terrence McKenna and all these kind of great minds are like looking at the writings like of Nikola Tesla and stuff. And you just look at these people that are like really, really smart and looking at what their ideas were and how against the world was against them so badly. And you're like, because they're trying to suppress the truth, which again brings us back to why there will probably never be disclosure until there are so many people that can inherently just prove it. Like, I'm just a person. I'm not rich. I don't have all this stuff. I don't have this great influence in the world as of yet.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But do you believe that you get the choice to come back again? Or do you think you're made to come back again?
I think that if you know enough to not go into the light, that you could move on to where you're supposed to go. But from what I understand, from what I've watched, because of course I've never died before, that whole thing is like, if you go towards the light, you get reincarnated back to this world. If you didn't learn what you're supposed to learn, or if you don't carry your soul as far as it's supposed to go, and learn the things you're supposed to learn, I think that you do come back. Can y'all close that door? It's about to freeze up in this mug. Sorry. I tried to mute it. I don't know if it worked.
Dakota, what's your opinion?
Sorry, freeze up in this mug just kind of threw me off. But no,
y'all could hear me? I thought I was mute. So y'all can
yeah, we heard you. We heard you.
I got the door open and it is freezing and the fan is on. And I'm like, okay, guys, too cold.
No, well, what you're saying, there is a lot of truth to it, but another thing to consider on the disclosure side of it the information technically is out there, but it's stuff that we've known since the 40s, 50s, and 60s. I mean, Tesla, there's FBI files on him that says he's from Venus. And anybody can access those. Misinformation, you never know. It is the U.S. government we're talking to. I'm trying to get a retired CIA operative to come on the show to talk about some stuff, but we'll see how that goes.
Have you ever witnessed, Jana, like a deathbed, kind of someone dying but seeing something as it happens?
Well, every day I look at the end of the Matrix. It's not pretty.
Yeah.
People just die and they lay in a room and they take up space and air and they're just dying. It's disgusting what they do to these people. And it's the end. Like, it's pretty much the end for probably like 88% of the population, maybe even 90%. You get on dialysis and you rot and no one comes to see you. I'm sorry if it's a bit morbid, but hopefully you learned better before you got to that point. But I did have this one patient that when I first started doing my job, and she was I don't know, I liked something about her, and all her paperwork said that she was like had some kind of crazy deal going on with her. I don't know if she did or not, because this is just like past medical history stuff. But I remember looking at her in the eye, and she had like, if you look behind the pupil of someone's eye, you can see it's like a mirror that's back in there. Because, like your eyes are made up out of like rods and cones, and there's like mirrors and reflections and stuff going on. So it's like some of these patients, when I pick them up, I've noticed they have like this little, it looks like a sequin is hanging in the back of their optical area. And you can see it. And every time that their heart beats, you can see it tick. Now, you wouldn't probably see anyone's eye ticking like that, like me or Dakota or you. You wouldn't see that because we're not like towards the end of our life, like physically, like we're still, young or whatever. But it's like the closer someone gets to the end, the more prominent it is. You can look, it looks like there's a mirror, like with a flashlight, just tick, 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 tick. And it starts to look off balance, Well, she, I don't know. I don't think she knew, but she used to tell me, oh, y'all are picking me up. Now, look, it's 3:30 in the morning, okay? And we were out in the middle of nowhere. I don't know why there was a nursing home middle of this place. We pick her up, and she goes, my boyfriend's in that car. My boyfriend's in that car. And I was like, what? Well, I just was like, okay. And she goes, he's going to follow us to the center. I was like, okay. So we pick her up. We load her up. We're driving. It's 4 in the morning. She's telling me my boyfriend's following us. And I'm like, I'm looking out the window. We're on this super long, it's like a long road that goes into like Alabama. I think it's like 96 or something. It's really dark. There's literally nothing out there for just miles, just this highway. And she's telling me this car is following us. I'm looking out the window going, hold on, where is this car coming from? Well, so this kept going on forever. Like I'd pick her up. At first I thought, oh, it is her boyfriend. And I was like, oh, she's just crazy. She thinks her boyfriend's following us. Well, then come to find out there was a guy who used to be like, that was in the nursing home with her or something. Yeah. And that was like her boyfriend. And he had actually been moved to another nursing home. Okay. I don't know where it was, and I don't know his name or anything. But apparently during that time period, he was at the other nursing home, and that he had actually passed away. Because I was talking to the nurses about her, telling me about this. She asked me if I would write a letter to him for her. And I wrote a letter for her. And this guy actually passed away at the other nursing home. She had no way of knowing. She was literally like almost like schizophrenic or something. She just didn't know what was going on. And she kept telling her boyfriend, it was freak me out every day. So I would say, yeah, they see it. And the closer they get to the end, it's like the closer they are to like seeing through the veil of things, and they can see through the fungus. And then what really upsets me, and maybe one day I'll remember, but she told me, I will never forget. She like looked me right dead in my face, and she told me something. Okay. I don't remember what it was, but it was like some kind of real information. It was like she was completely lucid for like 2 minutes, and she told me something, and I guess I was tired and I just forgot what it was. And anyway, she passed away. So But yeah, I don't know what she said, but it's like towards the end, people really do start to get, if they never believed, sometimes, maybe they can see it, but they may not be in their mind enough to be able to believe it and change what they know.
That is so interesting, that. Dakota?
I'm making Dakota make weird faces, which I think is like pretty strange.
Yeah, apparently messing with me just to see the faces I make has become a gimmick on this show. No, I just got to thinking, there's got to be it's like eye deterioration. I don't know, just thinking of how biologically that all would work out. Because I've seen it myself where there's been people I've seen towards the end of their life, and all of a sudden they're seeing things, and I'm looking around like, oh, you're not kidding. Not good.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about, Jana, because I know somebody that's a hospice nurse. And she's told me quite interesting stories about how they'll go in.
Their loved ones come to the room.
Yeah, and they'll look into the corner and they'll say, "Oh, my husband's over there sitting in the chair," and they'll look. The nurse will look. The two nurses will look. There'll be nothing there, right?
It gets real freaky night shift and all that.
And then one of the nurses one night went in to check on it, and the lady turned around and says to her, "Listen, 11 o'clock tonight, I'm going, okay? Okay," that's what the nurse said. She went out 11 o'clock, she came in to give her a drink or something, and she was gone. So it's...
The lady in the bed was gone?
No, what you call it? She died. She'd passed.
Yep, that's what they say. I mean, I talked to a lot of nurses and stuff. For any of the viewers out there, just so anyone knows, I'm actually an advanced emergency medical technician, and I work on an ambulance doing medical transports for elderly and handicapped people that are unable to walk or get around sometimes.
All right. Yeah, it's probably good that we made some sort of note of that. It's like, why is she hanging around dead people?
Yes, and why is she in the back of a van late at night?
I work in a mortuary, and what I do is the Y incisions.
Do you know, that's something that I've always been fascinated in. Do any of you know anybody that works in mortuaries at night?
Actually, I do.
Yeah, I had a friend that did.
There's a gal who had a kid in one of my sister's classes. She's the main coroner for the county. So
yeah,
she's had some stories.
I've heard some. I know an undertaker or few, and they've told me strange things where they keep the bodies at night. They've just noticed things, weird things.
Yeah,
they'll be the only person in the building doing the embalming and stuff like that, and they'll look. They'll think somebody's outside. They'll go look. There's nobody there. You know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing. I don't think I could do a medical professional kind of job like that.
With the mortuary, yeah, but then you have to deal with like dead little kids and stuff. I was going to do that, and I decided not to.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom's done dead people's hair and stuff, but I don't really want to do that because I'm also since it's supposed to be, you'll know me, I'm also a licensed master cosmetologist as well.
Oh.
Yeah. Do tell us more.
Well, what I could tell you is about the polypeptide bonds contained in ammonium acid solution when you perm your hair, but I just don't want to have to go into all that.
That's really
well. It's not like we're gonna know anything about doing our hair.
I know. I'm gonna have to get a wig so I can.
You can dry. We can dry brush your scalp. It's good, great for the circulation around your brain tissue.
There you go, Dakota. You get yourself like an old toilet brush, and you could just get up and down your head. You know.
Get you a plumbus.
God.
Oh God!
Y'all know what a plumbus is, don't you?
Actually, I don't.
So explain it for him.
Well, it's on Rick and Morty.
Oh God!
I've never watched that.
They're doing a factory, and they're like, and what you do is you put the squeam on the flurb like this, and basically they're creating like some type of a sex toy that looks like a toilet seat, and you open it, and it's it's a male appendage, and if you close it up, it's like female. It's called a regular old plumbus. Okay.
See, Dakota obviously knew what that was.
It's something that they sell on interdimensional cable, which is the way they watch TV on the Rick and Morty.
See?
Yeah, it is kind of scary how if you take away the fucking gimmicks, Rick and Morty is actually fairly scientifically accurate. That's a whole nother discussion for another time.
I know. It must be quite an interesting job what you do, Jana, because you're bound to have seen some quite interesting things in your time
I
working.
mean, this depends on what you mean by interesting.
Well,
here, let me tell you guys, the most being an EMT, you talk to people, like, oh, you're an EMT. Oh, I bet you've seen a lot of cool stuff. I'm like, nope. Yeah, I saw somebody. I picked them up. They had hepatitis and their leg was cut off, and they didn't cover up their bloody stump at the nursing home. And I had to curse the nurse out and make them put their clothes on so I could transport them to their dialysis. This is a regular day, you know. Hey,
this sounds about right.
Caution hazard. Oh, y'all want me to wear a paper jacket on the floor? Oh, now I spilt somebody's, I don't know what. They make you wear these paper jackets because, you know, these things in their arms, and they stick them, and then it's blood everywhere. So they don't want you to get blood on you. You have to put this paper coat on. They don't care what you're wearing. Put the jacket on. You can't come on the floor. And then you put the jacket on. And I was walking, and I did not know. I've been doing this job for like a decade, and they got these little medicine cups of some kind of sticky stuff. And it was on the table. And when I walked over to get the patient, the jacket grabbed the stuff because the jacket's this big 7X paper thing. It knocked over whatever it was, and it spilled all down my freaking leg. It was like my first transport. And I don't know what was in that, but it was like crystallized syrup. And I had everything stuck to me for the rest of the day. Yeah, it's very interesting and hard. And I don't take naps for hours on end at work ever. And get
that
paid.
Explains the lunacy.
But have you ever seen anything strange when you've been out? Like maybe UFOs. Have you ever seen anything strange? Because let's face it, you'll be out.
Me and one of my bosses, we go on transports. You know, like a lot of times shifts could start at like 2:45. I don't work those shifts right now because I'm unable to with the kids and everything. But you know, we go way out like to places where you can see the Milky Way without a telescope or anything. There's no lights out there. I mean, the place where I live is extremely rural. Okay. It's very rural. This is like where everybody's peaches are coming from. You know what I mean? There's nothing out here but fields and corn and shit. Anyways, so you'll see stars. I've seen like ghost lights in the sky. I have seen something that's like this light, and it'll just be going. You'll be like, what the heck is that? It'll just be going. It looks like a hot air balloon or something that's on fire. And it'll go and go and go. And you're like, what is that? And you're trying to tape it, and it'll float up and float up and float up. Next thing you know, it just goes shh, like this, and it just disappears. I don't know what it is. It's like on fire. And I've seen it in like, I think I saw one in Cordele. I saw one in out in Twiggs County, which is like one of the furthest places out that you could get. There was this boat ramp because I live off around the Old River. So, you know, all this stuff, I've seen these ghost lights coming down from the sky, and they were like going to land in this field. I wasn't at work when I seen that though. And they were coming down. I thought there were people in 4-wheelers coming up to the boat, you know, the boat ramp. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And I was like, we got to go right now. I don't know why I was asleep. And the guy was down. It was me and this other guy were down at the boat ramp sitting on the back of my car. I had an Equinox at the time. And we were sitting in the back, and I don't know why I was asleep. It was the middle of the night. We went down there to explore because the boat ramp is all really haunted. It's behind the base. Also, it's like 7 miles behind the Air Force base that's here. And it's all swampy, and there's alligators, and I'm talking about the fireflies down there are just out of control. They're like all up. I didn't think fireflies could go more than like 10 feet in the air or something. And I'm talking about these trees are like 80, 100 feet up. There's just freaking fireflies everywhere, just all in them like Christmas. And it's just a very interesting place. But me and the guy were down there, and I woke up and I was like, why am I asleep on my tailgate? And I looked up, and there were all these ghost lights coming down, just like landing in the field and stuff. And, of course, I had been out there in an ambulance too. I did get the ambulance stuck in the mud one time. But
that's actually interesting because that's kind of like I see Dakota getting his interesting face. He's like, Because I can see Dakota thinking,
Stroking.
have you been abducted? And that's why
There he
you woke
goes.
up.
Well, I've been.
Yeah, I don't know. I was asleep and the guy was asleep too. He was on drugs, but we'll tell us another story. But I wasn't on drugs.
God.
And we were both asleep. And I was like, what the heck just happened? How did I fall asleep? And it was really cold and it was middle of the night. And I was laying over, like, it was like I was sitting on the thing and I was like this. And I woke up and he was like leaned over asleep too. And I was like, what's going on? And then I seen all these lights just like landing. It looked like headlights, like you would see like on an RV, ATV or something. And then all of a sudden, like they disappeared. And I was like,
Good question.
we gotta go.
The military base, what kind of military base was it? Was it a air base or was it a...
It's an Air Force
It's an
base.
Air
Because
Force.
I'm just thinking
But-
that because they do have flares that are kind of
Yeah, but-
yellow or orange and they float down really slow.
These were down in the field though. It's like a boat ramp that comes down to like a dead end, and then there's like woods on either side, and there's like wild pigs and all kind. I've gotten all kinds of animal sounds from down
Nah,
there.
you wouldn't.
It's like a
'Cause you
neighborhood
would
on
do it
both
anyway.
sides, but it's like there's a row house, like trailers and like little small houses, and then it ends, and then it's just a boat ramp, and there's kind of like a field on each side that's got like really tall grass and reeds, and the train tracks go right through there. So it would be really weird if they just shot off like, I don't know, 15 flares and they were just all landing in front of my car. And my cousin had said when that stuff lands down there, she calls them, I think she was calling them ghost lights or orbs or something. And she said when they would land, that's when people start to see Bigfoot, and people have said they've seen like fairies and aliens and all kinds of stuff. And we saw one, me and my two cousins, who I love so dearly, but I'm not speaking to at the moment. We were ghost hunting. We were going to write this ghost hunting book, and we were down there, and she told us that, and we saw one. And she freaking got us the hell out of there. She was like, we got to go right now. The shit's about to come out. And then, there's been a couple of times that we were out ghost hunting and it just got really real. And a friend of mine actually got chased before. We might have to bring him on here sometime and see if he wants to tell the story about Pigman's Bridge.
Where's this air base? Because I want to research this place. What's the name of it?
It's Robbins Air Force Base.
Robbins Air Force Base, right? I'm going to look that up.
It's in Warner Robins, Georgia.
I find that interesting because I'm going to see if I can find any videos on YouTube that maybe someone's seen it and filmed it.
Well, we got a bunch of Air Force bases around me and Chris, and we get weird aircraft reports all the time from people.
Yeah.
So.
I find it interesting because I don't have any military bases around me.
Are those lemons?
Yeah, you're supposed to put the lemon juice on the rim with some pepper.
I'm sorry, y'all. He brought some liquor out. I was just looking at it.
Oh, Lord.
What is it, may I ask? What type of liquor is it?
We're going to make some super fancy Tabasco Bloody Marys.
Oh.
Ew.
Is that the full moon rising behind you? Is that a full moon tonight?
I don't think it's supposed to be.
Oh no, it's just for a second there I thought it was a UFO.
It's the reflection of my.
I was going to say.
I have this ham
They're
with all these
coming
little
for you,
glitters.
Jana.
I think that's just my chandelier. I need to replace some of the light bulbs on it.
I hope it's your chandelier.
Monkey Lou, what are you trying to do? It's going to be Monkey Lou's birthday. So
Oh.
Oh.
say hello.
Hello.
He was just playing ball.
He's the best of all the best.
He was just playing
Go play over there. Go take your jacket off. But yeah. The Air Force Base. I mean, that whole place is really crazy. Like right over there near it, there's a witch's hill. There's supposed to be this witch grave, but like I told you, I live in the deep south, and me and my cousins never seemed to find a day that we thought was cold enough to go traipsing around in the swamp of the Okmulgee because I don't want to get bit by a water moccasin.
I've heard the deep south's meant to be notorious.
They said that there's like a pile of rocks is down there. They said it's like 5 feet tall, and they said that nothing grows around it. And I took my car down there because what it is they said there used to be a witch down there, and that she would help people cross over the river because there was no bridge, and that I guess the village people or something got mad and they come and killed her or whatever. She's a witch. I don't know if the story's true, okay? But they say that when you go over the bridge, so you go down to the end of the bridge, and the thing is, it's really dangerous because it's a truck route. The road, it's like this big long highway, and that one particular spot, like all the semi trucks kind of come through right there from everywhere. And so you go to the bottom of the hill and you park your car at the bridge. Okay, it's just like a cement bridge, and you throw out some pennies for the witch. All right, and also then there's the other story of a school bus crashed there, and the kids are gonna push your. I mean, these are all like kind of like urban legends. You've probably heard these for everywhere. So I don't know what the real phenomenon is that's going on, and I don't know if it's paranormal. And I do believe that sometimes with the power of suggestion, that spirits and energies can pick up on what's going on, or sometimes they are really intelligent and they know what's going on, and they can make something look like something when they do it. So my cousin put her husband's like ball powder. She said it was his ball. It was like some talcum powder or something, and she put it all over the back of my car, which was like a 2007 Honda Civic. Yeah. And we parked at the end of the hill, and I put the car in neutral, and my car got up to 23 miles an hour going up the hill. And it went up the hill. It was not a real steep hill, it's about like this. It went 23 miles an hour all the way till we got to the top. And then there were handprints on the back of the powder on the car. Yes. I threw some pennies out the window for the witch. I was like, "Is your pence buy you a chicken?"
I wish there was some of them even bring about me because saving gas, the price it is here. You know, I could just throw some pennies out the window.
Yeah, come on, kids, push me.
Come on, dead kids. You know,
we're gonna get some.
Gas is expensive.
I mean,
can you show moonshine on live?
Oh, too late.
This is weird. This because I'll tell you, I'm going to bring up somebody's name here. It was before he died. He was telling me about the swamps and that, and like Georgia and stuff. And it was Mike the Naked Bigfoot. And you know, it was his birthday last night, and obviously he's passed.
Did he pass away?
He passed away, yeah. And did you know that's what he did? It was from a long line of moonshiners, and his son was telling the story last night, which was quite interesting. That's so weird. That it's amazing how something like that comes in.
So was he from around here, around these parts?
Now I need to get this right, Dakota, because I don't want his spirit visit me the night. Remember the few times I fucked it up, and he wanted to come across and slap me. Where's he from, Dakota?
Well, he did live near Blue Ridge. Blue Ridge in Virginia.
But I don't think he was from Blue Ridge, Virginia, was he?
I don't remember exactly where he said he was.
He came from somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains somewhere.
Yeah, Blue Ridge.
Yeah, that's not too far. It's about 6 hours from here. That's just water. Don't worry.
Yeah, water. I've got mine too.
It's just Mountain Dew. That's all it is.
Mountain Dew's not clear.
Yeah, but Mountain Dew is another name for moonshine.
Is it?
Yeah.
Apparently.
I'm just a baby. I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm younger than you.
Mike actually told me a story.
We're just going to go by who looks the youngest. I know, we look like we're the same age. Who looks younger, Chris, me or Dakota?
Yeah.
How old are you, Dakota? I can't remember.
I turned 27 this week.
Sweet. That's why I just told people I was turning 26 for my birthday. I don't know how old I look, but people
I'm not going to lie. I'm 41. I'm closer to God than any of you.
Well, if he's real.
That's very true. That's very true. I'll get to two doors. One will be like the light, and one will just be a dark void. And I'll be like, "See, Jana, she tell me not to go to the light. What do you do? What do you do?
What do you want me to do?"
Oh, well. For all I know, whatever creator being out there could be some poor sap with schizophrenia.
I know. It might be an old guy in an alien world somewhere, sitting in the new with a paper bag with his whiskey in it, drinking away. Might be a career.
It's like, I can't believe that. How did I fuck up that planet so much?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We could all just be one guy that's in a coma, dreaming of all the things that are happening.
True. That's very true.
Well, someone's up the morphine dosage if that's the case.
I know. I will admit that could make you go a wee bit wonky.
Oh, can I get some jalapenos for this?
You might want to dip some Tabasco sauce in it.
Yeah.
It needs
So,
jalapenos.
Dakota, what's on the agenda for next week?
That's a good mystery, my friend. We shall find out next week.
I got a cool idea. What if
Uh-oh.
somehow, some way,
How do you want me to chop it?
we could get like Steve White on here?
Well, we can give him a shot. See what happens.
That would be so cool. I swear they're not really making videos anymore. I've barely seen anything from them.
I was like, I got a notification earlier from him, and I'm just like,
oh, you
I'm
did?
going
Going?
to I'm
I
going
gotta
to do
go
something.
check.
I'm going to.
I didn't see the video, but
I'm going to do something really bad here. But who the hell is this person that we're talking about?
You're gonna do something really bad to
Aye,
something.
who is this
he
person
doesn't know
we're
who
talking
Steve
about?
White is.
I don't know who Steve White
He
is.
does the strange but true stories on YouTube.
Oh.
Tales of the light side, the dark
Mm,
side, and
That's actually how Jana found me.
Really?
you don't quit saying my name wrong. I'm gonna come up there and get you.
Is it Jana? Is it
Jana.
Jana? See, I got it right.
You
the first
yelled at
time.
me for saying Jana.
No, I
See,
didn't.
I
Yes,
just
you
got it
did.
right. See, that's well. See that. See, I just got it right.
Yeah, we are
I'm
fighting
Scottish.
like we're
No.
related, so
No. I couldn't see the resemblance there. If you took out a wig, Dakota, I'm telling you.
oh god, don't give me ideas.
You're gonna have to get him some eyebrows and a wig.
I know.
I have eyebrows, they're just blonde.
We're gonna have to
Yes.
fill them in.
I think he shaves.
I
them
dyed
all.
my hair. It's like
Look
a
at mine.
ashy blonde color. See?
I'm like a Vulcan. I'm like a Vulcan.
Uh,
Salina Makrila, Sorokito, Makindo.
More?
Oops. I don't need to get tomato juice
know.
on the laptop.
well,
I was planning on trying to play Zombies MMO on it.
It's been an awesome night tonight. I've learned things tonight, and
yeah.
new
Yeah, but I want to
experiences.
know more about the tones that Dakota makes, and I want to know how he made them.
Ooh.
We did a
I
deal
don't
with the
know.
devil under the pale moonlight.
Well,
Are you quoting it for the Joker?
Mm-hmm.
go Jack Nicholson. Yeah, I actually know that one.
He was the best Joker. If we really want to talk movies here, he was the best one. He was the best Joker.
I was like, I don't know if we want to go into the tones because Chris goes kind of
No.
wonky every time.
Don't play them,
Chris?
please.
Gonna
I
go
don't want to
wonky?
be. Don't want to be
Er.
too comfortable
I
in the
should
night.
say I
Gur?
just
He
go
turns
on
into
the-
Gur? I love Gur.
No,
You-
no, honestly, you don't want to meet the other person. Trust me.
Other person.
He's very condescending. You don't want to meet him.
He's
Well,
condescending,
Chris,
you don't
You
want
got
to-
to realize there's a chance that, well, not only have you possibly seen me before I was born, but so has Jana.
She's called me Janet. Don't do it.
I didn't say Janet.
It is Jana. Now say it in the
Don't
English
call
language.
me Janet.
It is Jana. Jana. Oh,
Typical one.
Shut
She's
up.
confusing the hell out of me.
jolly oh boy. Oh, yeah. Jolly oh. What?
Now I'm tempted to
Oh,
play
I'm
it
getting
just to
stared
torture
at.
you.
Gonna hide. I have the
I like
microphone.
torture.
Yeah,
Sounds like a plan.
Dakota's right into that. Dakota's right into that kind of thing in the
Wait,
Galactic
do we have some more of
Federation.
this pickle juice?
Him and his pal. You know,
How many of these did you
whips and
buy?
chains.
I got all these. I'm about to use one of these.
I want one of them.
So, Chris,
Put it up.
what are your plans for tonight after we get off here?
What?
He can't talk about that on live.
Well, considering it's considering it's 11:30 at night, and I need to go to my bed so as I can get up tomorrow to go to a location to film for a new video, Tours of Scotland.
Hold on, wait. You're going up in the morning to
I'm
go
going to
to...
I'm going to film an 11th century chapel. That's very old. That's before America was created.
Yeah, that's most locations in Scotland.
I know. My house is only 200 years old, which is nothing.
I lived in a 100-year-old house here in America.
Hey, she's for the Americas, lads. Hey, I tell you that to know. Hey, See a bit of the Scottish coming out in me. You will get that down to
Yeah,
Georgia.
this-
A lot of Scottish people actually moved to the kind of Georgia area, you know.
You know, we get the Scottish accents,
North
we got the
Carolina.
Georgia accents going on. My goodness, this is going to be an
Hold on,
interesting
wait. I
episode.
have an accent. I'm confused.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I
You
got
have
an
an
accent.
Ah, damn. The only one I can do is, indeed, sir, indeed. I'm a southern gentleman, sir. But that, I'm
Well,
not,
like
you're not
somebody
allowed to,
working
like,
a plantation.
You wanna make it spicy?
look, I do it all the time, and folk always bring that up. Everybody doesn't sound like that. Everybody, oh, come on. Look,
I actually don't have that much of an accent compared to like where I'm from and the people that like live here.
That's very true. Why did
Wait,
my
Alexa.
Alexa just go off like that? Hey,
Because she wants you to play the tones.
Alexa, play the tones, Alexa.
The deaf tones.
The death tones.
well, they've been playing for a while, but
Ah, my computer's messing up. I was trying to see what the comments were saying. The chat is disabled for the live stream.
Yes, because
happened?
it's not live.
well, it's
It's
technically
cute.
not live. We kind of have a new format how we're putting out shows, so it's not going
Oh,
out.
Yes.
So you got a week to prepare for.
So basically, you can say
drama.
anything you
crazy
want, and he can
people.
cut it out.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Is that going okay, by the way?
Hell was that? I seen something coming, didn't it? It was like a wee orb or something.
Yeah.
Capture.
Oh, could you hand me my little Modillo out of my pocketbook, please?
You're what?
I'm going
Yeah,
to need
what?
my Modillo Baquilas, Magrintos.
Oh God! I thought.
Cafrin.
Oh,
Let me
I
see.
thought you were going to say something else there.
I thought you did say something else.
What did y'all think I said?
Terrible.
Dildo.
Terrible.
We know where y'all's
Maybe she's
mind
got a big
lives,
one.
dude.
Look at Drew Ellingsworth. He's right into them. He's going on about how he wants to bring out his own brand.
I got something to get the aliens' attention now. Just take this one. There's a little key inside.
I need to find what I did with mine.
They're actually, you can't really buy them over here anymore. They've been made illegal. Everything over here is illegal.
Because
You're talking about the tactical? They got this tactical light. It's illegal.
They're taking everything off us.
Turn the light off. I want to see. Can you
There was
see
a
it?
case. There was a case where somebody kept shining into the passenger jets coming into land at Glasgow Airport.
Oh,
And they
yeah.
were
The
made
way,
illegal.
well, the thing is, the way it hits the actual plane window causes it to reflect and practically and practically light up the entire cockpit.
I like
see
the
it.
Lightsaber.
Yeah, you can literally outside. This looks like a straight up just lightsaber.
No, what you want today is get the blue ones.
Yeah, I've been trying to get one, but I got this for my birthday.
Oh, the green. The green.
I'm in here making a potion for you.
Oh, is that your best choice? Is that your? Oh my god!
Oh, dear Lord.
My ears. So what we've got on your show, Jana? What's the name of the show? Strange Things, Late at Night, Warning.
We'll just call it warning.
Warning.
I don't
Oh god! You could do a show where you review tasers and things like that.
I mean, I could, I guess. I'm gonna have to get a sponsor if you want me to get that much tactical gear. I only have so much.
Dakota's here. He'll line you up with a local gang or something like that to supply you with some stuff.
Actually,
I'll be like, welcome to the local zombie apocalypse channel where we review all your
See, that's
zombie
the thing.
apocalypse equipment needs.
I think, to be honest with you, Janet, see if a zombie can run up to you and you zap them with that taser, I don't think that would really do much to the zombie. I
Hey,
think
Potato, you want to dress like a
push
zombie and I'm
off.
gonna act like I taser you for entertainment
Oh dear Lord!
purposes?
I don't think that would actually do anything to a zombie. Actually, I think it would just piss it off. Even
Well, we
more.
need to find somebody brain dead to test it on. Know anybody in Congress?
I know a couple of people.
She looks aside.
seen one on
she's
the TV
thinking
tonight.
somebody.
That's-
Do I know one person?
Oh God, don't they say?
We might could find a whole corral of zombies there.
Oh, why do I get the feeling this episode could be used in a court case?
Yeah.
Court
Honestly, listen, I'm going to plead the fifth, and I'm also going to say that I promise to visit you at least once every 2 years, and your maximum Fred will.
She gets 2 years, I get 10. I see how it is.
Oh no! I'll
years.
speak up for Jana. I'll speak up for Jana so she doesn't get any time at all.
Thanks, Chris. That's so nice
I
of
know.
you.
She's a woman. All she has to do is expose a little cleavage and get a little bit less
Cleavage.
What the? Wow. We should probably end this show because I'm not able to talk.
I know.
You got
Anyway.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
chakra.
we will see you all
Apparently
next Saturday. Hopefully, we'll have a guest for then. And thank you, Jana. Yeah, I can pronounce it right. He can, for coming. Terrible. I keep telling him that. I keep saying to him, I say to him all the time, he can't pronounce Andy's name.
And until next time, I'll be drinking this Bloody Mary.
Oh, dear Lord.
Catch you later, everybody. Have a fantastic night.
Bye, guys.
Bye, and we are not legally responsible for any damage this episode may have caused.